Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back.
To the Let's Debrief podcast. I'm Ashley.
I'm Jenna, and we hope you're having a great Wednesday today.
We are in our cozies today.
Yes.
I got up and went to a cycling class this morning. When I came back, I was like, I'll put these pants on and then I'll
They are
change
cozy.
later. I'm not changing nothing.
Oh, no, I was not trying to look nice to come today.
No.
We were saying last podcast, we always forget that there's video. And then when we see ourselves back, we're like, okay.
Literally, people post stories of them watching. I'm like, oh. Or if Cole will make a reel. There was a reel that he made where I basically look clearly I haven't learned my lesson, but I looked exactly the same, no makeup, whatever. And it got 13,000 views. And I was like,
thanks.
Awesome.
Glad my personality is shining.
Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just so hard to always look nice.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere the rest of the day. Why would I throw makeup on?
I know.
I hate putting makeup on.
I don't mind putting makeup on as much as I don't like to do my hair fully.
Yeah. And especially for me, having curlier, naturally curly hair, once I let it air dry, right after I wash it, we're going to be curly for a few days. And
I always love your hair curly.
Yeah.
I want you to do it more.
Ocean curly. When it was in Hawaii, she was thriving.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
Have you ever used a diffuser?
One time. Well, I have an attachment to the hair dryer.
Do it.
I should do
My
it more
mom
often.
used to do that because she has really curly hair, and she used to do that every morning before work. She would wash her hair, and then she would put mousse or whatever mousse in it, and then use the diffuser, and it was so curly and voluminous.
Well, here's been for all the curly haired girls out there, has been the game changing thing for me recently. I haven't invested in my routine as much anymore because it would be good the first day, and then it would I'd wake up the next morning and it'd be a disaster. But I got a silk pillowcase, and so it's supposed to be good for just breakage overall. It doesn't break your hair because your hair's not. And I've heard the heat when you sleep at night too, rubbing against your pillow. I'm like, oh great, that makes sense.
And ripping your hair apart every day when you're talking.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, we were watching football here last night, and I was just like, pick, pick, pick. I can't be stopped.
I have had an issue lately with going like this, and I'll see the split ends and pull them. And it's just so addicting.
I have been pulling split ends since I was in high school. I'm obsessed with it. But then it's nice to go get your hair cut and then look at the bottom of it and you're like, oh,
it's blunt.
It's clean.
I just made a hair appointment.
In town?
Yes. Well, did I tell you that Tanner's sister moved salons? Now she's working in town.
Oh, no,
Which,
I didn't know
I could never go to... She's a listener. Alicia, hello.
Hello, Alicia.
I could never... Not that I couldn't, but, it was just a lot to, make the trip to her before.
Yeah.
And now that she's in town, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. No, she's at a different one that's literally on the Diamond.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited because I feel like a
5-minute drive, that would be so nice.
I know, and I just, never get my hair done, so...
Are you going to do anything funky?
I think I'm going to... No, not funky. Just maybe a trim and, some highlights or something.
Nice.
Just a little refresh.
Just a little touch-up.
Because my birthday's coming.
Yes. Our birthdays are coming.
Yes.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
No, I don't care.
You were saying that you're a birthday girly this year. And there's nothing wrong with being a birthday girl.
Yeah. I'm not honestly, and still, I'm not really concerned about anyone remembering or getting me a gift or anything. I just was saying it just matters to me that I'm going to have fun on my birthday this year. Only because last year I was super pregnant and we literally did nothing because why make a plan?
What did you end up doing?
Literally laying on my couch. And then
did we celebrate a different day?
No.
We didn't do anything.
Me and Tanner went to Target at night and got ice cream or something. It was not anything at all. But I just feel this year being a mom, it's you don't get a lot of things for you or a lot of time, or if you do something for yourself, you feel guilty about it. I don't know if that's just me, but So I'm just like, I really want to do something fun for me. Like, it feels like the right time that you can be like, it's my birthday, so I'm going to do something fun, and like, I don't feel guilty.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair.
So,
Do you have plans so far?
Well, Tanner and I were saying that I wanted to go to Falling Water during the day.
Fun.
Yeah, so that'll be good. But I don't know what else after that.
Yeah.
It's also hard because it's like, well, babies can't go to Falling Water. You actually can't take kids under 8, yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Like, they're
It's like,
so
yeah. She would
sensitive. Can you imagine?
Walk up to the door, rip it out.
Yeah, that's terrifying. We did that. I did that for the first time. Was it last year or 2 years ago for Cole's birthday? We went there.
I love Falling Water.
And it was like kind of a rainy day too, and I was just like, oh my gosh, imagine waking up in this house.
You guys have to go to Polymouth Park.
What's that?
It is, it's near my parents' house, and like some people know about it. It's not well known. First of all, there's a restaurant in a Frank Lloyd Wright house.
Oh, okay.
And there's all these tree houses around that you can also eat in the tree houses.
Okay.
And the food's really good. And then there's 4 Frank Lloyd Wright houses that are on this property. And you get on a little bus.
Aww.
And they take you around and you see all 4 houses. And they're all super different. And they're all like transported there. Like,
oh,
do you know?
I was going to say, oh, that's so funny that he like made 4 houses.
Oh, yeah, no. One was like in California and it's like all stone and
What?
like.
How is that transported?
Okay, you will learn about it if you go on the tour. But like they literally would take it apart and transport it on trucks and rebuild
terrifying.
it. And our neighbors, the ones who moved away, and like the house is for sale across the street from us, he was one of the people who worked on transporting those houses. Like
That's
he was
crazy.
back and forth, like getting the parts and stuff. And that's why they like love mid-century homes, and they like built one themselves recently now.
That's so cute.
But yeah, you guys should go. It's such a fun date.
I remember you talking about the food. Have you heard of Sears houses?
Of course, yes.
Okay. I didn't know about this until recently, and Cole's parents' house is a Sears house.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And
wow, I would
like,
never guess that.
I know. But like all of like the houses like on their street, you're like, oh yeah, these all really look the same.
Wow.
But if you don't know what a Sears house is, apparently in like the early 1900s, like you could literally shop for houses in a Sears catalog, like the department store.
Yeah.
And so people like, I don't know if I saw a TikTok or if Cole ended up like saying that it was like a popular thing for like newlyweds, like for the guys to be like, okay, I'm getting you a Sears house, pick out the one that you want. And I was like, can you imagine? Like, that's so crazy.
I wonder how much it cost at the time. Let's just look it up.
Look it up. Cole said $2,500. Isn't that crazy?
Well, actually, you know what's so crazy? Tanner's mom was telling me their first house that they bought, which was like probably the size of this house, and it was like all stone, so beautiful. And she was like, yeah, it was $30,000. I'm like, excuse me?
Crazy. Yeah, while we're just on houses, Cole's dad was selling like his like childhood home, like both of his parents had passed away, and they bought it in like the 60s or the 70s for $15,000. And I was just like, I cannot even comprehend. Like, absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, okay, I'm looking at the Sears houses, which they have so much more character than anything that's built today anyways. Like, look at that.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Those literally
like,
are all Ligonier houses.
yeah, they're all like $2,000, like around there. But look, they have...
They're so cute.
They're so much prettier than like what
Yeah.
Ryan homes are today. No hate if you're a Ryan homeowner. This one's only $872. I mean, I know that would like be, you know, more today, but still.
Yeah.
And it has a little floor plan. You're like, oh, I want the living room there.
Dawn Marie, sorry to name drop if she did not want her identity to be released, but
I'm sure it's fine.
Cole's mom was telling us that, like, especially in Ligonier, that, like, they would, like, because Cole's, like, parents live in town, and so, like, they, like, the train would just, like, pull up through town, and, like, then the guys would go unload the lumber and everything and start building their houses, like, straight from there. I was like, that's crazy.
So Sears would also build it?
They would send the parts, but, like,
Oh, you had to build
it. From my understanding. Like, I'm sure people were hiring, or it's like, come over, Tanner, like, we're building a house and then I'll help you build your house. Like, I'm sure it was very community oriented.
Look at this literal mansion, $6,400.
Whoa.
Again, I know that is like way more now, but
Yeah, I wonder what the rate would be.
I know. I wonder what year this is. Anyways,
it's so funny. Like, when we start the podcast, we're like, yeah, we'll just like chat briefly, and then like literally talking about
and it's
19th
like the
century
most
homes.
random topics ever. It just like gets out of hand. Okay. Here's the life update story for you. So last night we were driving home from our wedding. We had a Sunday wedding, which was kind of random, but like it was party city. Like no one, it felt like a Saturday, 100%. But
was the venue just available? Do you know why they picked a Sunday?
I don't know. I know she like had her heart set on that venue, so maybe it just wasn't available or whatever. But anyways, so on the way home, we were there till 9. It was an hour and a half from our house. So we're like getting close to home, close to the Hollow. And
where the bear.
It was so foggy and rainy yesterday. And it was so dark. And it was
with so much anxiety.
So many things were being so creepy when we were driving home. So like, also it's like 2 days till Halloween, so you just have that spooky vibe.
Again, you've been listening to all of the stories. I was counting today with our episode, the one podcast that we listened to, which came out with 3 spooky episodes, and then our other podcast we listened to came out with 2 spooky episodes. So that is 6 spooky episodes
and
of
they all
content.
have like at least 10 scary stories.
Yeah, I've consumed way too much.
Yeah. But so like first it was like so foggy, and we saw like this like police car lights like in the distance, and there was like just this like foggy like police car whatever with its lights just like on, and I was like, ew, it's like giving me weird vibes. Then we like saw something else that was like kind of weird, and then anyways, so we're like getting kind of close to home, and we're like driving. It's just like a 2-lane highway. One car's coming this way, we're going this way, and a deer was running in between our 2 cars, like from the other side of the road. So like this is us, this is the other car. And the deer ran across in front of them, and then we're coming by, and it's right in between us. And like we would have hit it, but the other car hit it. Like hit its back legs, like as it was like going through.
Oh, that's so sad.
And it was so loud when they hit it. And like seriously,
was it a big boy?
It was like pretty average.
If you would have told me it was a baby, I would have cried.
Oh yeah. As like if it would have kept running and they wouldn't have hit it, we would have hit its like head.
Oh, did it die?
I don't know. Like we just kept going. Yeah, the other car like started pulling over, but we were both like, "Oh my god!" It was such terrifying. Like a weird scenario that was like in between our cars.
Yeah, so like it ran, and then did it stop, and then like the car hit it, or was just the motion of it trying to get across the road?
Yeah, it was just trying to get across.
Oh dang!
They didn't see it.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they didn't put their brakes on or anything, but we saw it and we flashed them, but they just kept going.
Oh, interesting.
But you know what I was thinking? Obviously you hit a deer and totaled your car. Did you try to like swerve and like hit the brakes and stuff?
How it happened for us, we were on a highway it had 2 lanes on our side, and then there was a median on like the other side of the highway. It jumped across, and so we hit it midair. So Cole didn't see it until it was like...
What like part of its body did
we hit? Its butt, and then its head swung around and hit the side of my door.
Oh God. I was thinking, because we were talking about when you hit the deer after that, and I was like, I don't understand how it totaled their car, because I used to drive this really small, crappy car. Before the cruise, I had this Mazda.
I vaguely remember this.
It was like...
not like your deer incident, but I remember the car.
Well, on my way home from... It was literally on my way home from Amplify Conference rehearsals.
Oh, that's right.
In Plum, I hit a deer, and I remember... This is my only time hitting a deer. I always remember that people like, don't swerve.
Yeah.
And like, I felt horrible, but like when I saw it, it was right in the middle of the road, and like I hit its... Like, it's standing there. I hit it just perfectly head on.
Oh,
no, not its head.
Oh,
it was sideways. I hit like its like side.
Yeah.
And it literally flew above my car and landed on the side of the road, dead on impact. And there was not a hair or a scratch on my car. And I went back multiple days and kept seeing it was dead there. And my car was completely fine.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
And so I was always just like, oh, you know, like, I mean, I cried the whole way home because I was sad, but I was just like, well, my car's fine. But then like other people will hit it. Like even my one friend in high school, her family hit a deer. That I don't want to give you more anxiety. But the antlers came through the windshield and gave her like a huge scar on her from literally the antler.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so weird how
trust me, I have enough anxiety watching that I'll probably never hit a deer again because I'm literally scanning like this the entire time. But yeah, I like what it came down to is it would literally like from what they were going to pay us out for all of the damage assessed and what was remaining on like the loan what was remaining on the loan or what the car was valued at, it came in like the car was valued at like $2,400 and then like it was gonna be $20,000 or something to fix it, and so they were like, I'd rather just pay you the money and you can just go get a new car. Because I feel like in the end, like I was really sad because I liked that car, but I mean I love the Subaru now and it's like just much safer for hitting deer and like winter and stuff.
Yeah.
But so it all worked out in the end. But
it's just so weird how some people like. I remember my dad hit a deer when he was driving me to school one day. It literally did nothing to his car, and he just put it in the back of his truck and drove away. Like it's just so crazy because he was like, "I'm gonna get the meat." It's so crazy how like some people it's just like, "Oh, whatever," and then others it's like, "My literal life is ruined from this deer. Like my car, I don't have a car. Like I'm extremely injured. Like it's just like such a range." And I was telling Tanner yesterday, I'm like, how can a steel, like literal metal object that's going fast hit like a skin?
They're just so solid.
Like a skin object.
A skin object.
and the skin wins. You know what I mean? Like skin versus metal.
Well, I feel like if this is incorrect, this is what Cole tells me. But like cars now are made to crunch to like absorb like the shock.
Oh.
So like
it's like safer?
Yeah.
Oh.
If that's not correct, don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure because like our car looked like a disaster.
Yeah.
But we felt completely fine.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes it always looks bad, but it wasn't as bad. It's just like cars now are like just made to crunch. What are you laughing at?
Just the things we wrote down to say. I forgot the one thing I put. Okay.
I have nothing else to add on poor deer. That's so sad.
Do you want to talk about Golden Bachelor?
Yes. Are you caught up?
I am caught up. Okay. But I just
Cole and I just haven't watched. Well, at this point, we've definitely caught up. I'm like,
yeah,
because it'll be 2 weeks from now. But
well, I just feel like we need to talk about it in general because
it's the best marketing of all time.
It's the best show on TV.
I
cannot describe how happy I am when I'm watching it.
And serotonin.
So, just feel good vibes.
The way that Bachelor Nation has just redeemed so many people that had watched years ago. I was even texting with like someone and she was like, "Do you watch The Golden Bachelor?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm obsessed with it." She was like, "I haven't watched like anything from the Bachelor like Nation in years." And when they posted about this, I was like, "I'm there." And I was like, yeah, no, their viewers have to be like
insane,
quadrupled for what they were.
And have you noticed that like the episodes are like, ooh, that was
so
great.
Sorry if you heard that.
The episodes are like half as long as normal episodes.
They're so short.
And like it's speed running for sure. We're on, so you didn't watch the last one. It was week 5. He already has his girls for hometowns. Like next week is hometowns.
Which is crazy because yeah, I remember the last episode that I watched that he was like, "We're so close to hometowns." I was like, it has been not a lot of time at all.
Well, because I'm assuming they're like trying to feel out if this like is gonna be successful, and like I'm guessing the next season will be like a lot more like drawn out. But seriously, it is the most wholesome, sweetest, most amazing show on TV. Like,
and when the drama that does get stirred up, I was gonna say created, whether it's by the show or just like the women in there, is so like innocent. It feels like that they were just like, "Kathy, I am so sorry that I hurt your feelings like that. Like I never would have intended that."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on The Bachelor, she's like, "I didn't mean what I said about you. You're a blah, 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 Like,
it's so weird because Paradise is on right after Golden Bachelor.
Like, yeah.
And it's such, even the way they communicate is so like pure. Like, I just will never forget his first one-on-one date. He went with Teresa, and he was like really nervous to be driving the car. And she like put her hand on his shoulder, and he like just kept saying like, oh man, that when your hand was on my shoulder, that just really made me feel better. That just really reassured me.
Oh, that was everything I needed in that moment.
You were really there for me. And then literally like going to Paradise, they're like, yeah, she wouldn't put out, so I just like, I don't give a crap anymore.
am done with her now.
I'm like,
what?
What is gone wrong? Like, it truly shows like the
generational stuff.
Yes, I know. And it also like gives me so much hope of like, when I get old, I will still be living, you know?
Yes. Oh, the pickleball tournament. That one was so funny. What was that girl's name?
The one who loves pickleball?
Yes.
Ellen.
I love her.
I love her so much.
She was so funny. She was like, and to be on Pickleball Magazine? Are you kidding me? I was like, she loves it.
It's just so great. And I saw like the preview for next week was like they were meeting all the families, which like usually it's like you're meeting their parents, but like
that's not happening really in this case.
And so like they're meeting like all the grandkids and stuff.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I have to like move my coffee around to see if I can find anything else.
It's just the best. If you haven't watched it, just binge it tonight.
You really should. If you've been away from anything Bachelor related in years, now is the time to come back. Do you think that they'll switch off, or like do you think that they'll run it at the same time? Like, what do you think of the future of Bachelor Nation is?
I feel like Paradise is probably the least viewed, and so I think maybe they would keep Golden Bachelor with Paradise. But I don't want to say to give it away to you, but the person who went home, one of the girls who went home this week, I thought was going to be the winner.
Dang.
And
I'm scared.
I think she's going to be Golden Bachelorette.
Oh.
I'm hoping.
Okay.
But you'll have to watch it tonight.
Yeah, I'll watch it tonight so I can be caught up.
There's Monday Night Football on tonight, so
maybe not. Did you see the church reel Cole made yesterday?
No.
It was Carrie Underwood. It was
been waiting all week for Sunday night. I sing that every time like there's football on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You just change it.
Yes, and Monday.
It's the best. So I guess that's like I mean, people already knew that we were in our football era, but like we both have been in it. Like Cole,
I'm in love
each
with
of our
it.
families are not missing a single game. Like obviously Sundays there's a lot happening, but like we're watching Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Like we're in it.
It's the best. Even if I'm not watching, it has to be on.
Yeah.
Just hearing in the background, like, and he threw up 70-yard run. Like, I'm just like, thank you. It just gives me such peace.
It is. It's so, like, everything about it, I feel like the fall vibes have just been so good this year.
I feel like we've had, like, a long fall, too. Like, it hasn't felt, like, so short. Like, I didn't get to enjoy it.
Yeah. Which, like, I don't know where you would fall on this. So, where we're recording right now, tomorrow's Halloween. And
Cole's birthday.
And Coley's birthday. And I was like, oh, like, what do you want to do? I was like, we could go to a pumpkin patch. And he was like, all the pumpkins are going to be gone. And I was like, Halloween isn't the end of fall. And he was like, it's the end of the pumpkin patch. And I was like, well, I get you could agree or disagree because, like, some places might actually just close on Halloween. But do you think, like, Halloween is the end of pumpkins?
No, I think pumpkins are definitely fall decor in general. But I would say, like, it goes till Thanksgiving, but I would say like the round orange pumpkins are kind of like done for Halloween because those are the jack-o'-lanterns. But
I feel so bad. That's all he wanted to do was do jack-o'-lantern, and I hate it so much.
Oh, I forgot that you hate it.
I'm like,
you hate touching the slimy?
No, I don't mind that. It's just one of those things that I'm just like, why? Why am I doing this? Well, it just seems like so much effort for so little payoff.
It is. I always get like the fun, like I like the green, white, and like kind of darker orange pumpkins that are like kind of more fat and low. I always get those, and then our youth group always does pumpkin carving contests, and then we usually will take a few of those home and put them on our porch.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So now we have like a little one that has a face, but I didn't do it.
Nice.
I think with my kids, I will probably
but even
paint
then, I'm like,
them.
yeah, okay. I was
I
gonna
like
say,
that.
even then, that sounds like such a mess. Like, it would be a cute memory. I feel like as a family, we might have done it like 1 or 2 times.
Oh, we were every year, and we would bake the pumpkin seeds too. We loved the pumpkin seeds, but I feel like painting them is like just as fun, and also a lot like easier. Like I can't imagine if Monty was like 3, and I'm like, okay, let's carve pumpkins. I have like a younger kid, and like there's knives everywhere, and they're like grabbing them. I would just be so overwhelmed. But even if you paint them, you could just go in the yard, like get paint wherever you want. It would just be
Put them
fun.
in diapers and just like have at it.
Yes. But I do think pumpkins are just a fall decor.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
You might not want to say, but what did you get Cole for his birthday?
Well, I actually told him. But yeah, I was like debating on what to get because we haven't really, which is so funny because I love presents so much, but we haven't done like presents. Like last year, I just really wanted like the Boston Birkenstocks. So he was just like looking on websites and because they were like sold out everywhere. And so when they finally became available, he was like, this is what you want? And I was like, yes. And so for this year, I was like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, was trying to think about it. And he has a pretty outdated phone. And so our friend Peter works at the Apple store. And I was like, how much for the new phone? Like, with your discount and everything. And he, like, priced it out. And then if we traded in Cole's phone, I did, like, all of this without Cole knowing. And then I was just like, do you want to know?
Because you're like, because I'm going to have to take your phone.
Yeah, I need your phone. But it came out, like, decently cheap. Like, and you have to pay it, like, in a lump sum to, like, use Peter's discount. So it's, well, now I'm afraid to say
it.
It'll be, like, $600. But
oh, well, how much is it normally? Isn't it, like, over 1,000 at least?
I think the new phone is over 1,000. With Peter's discount, it's, like, 900. And then Cole's trade-in value on his phone, like, it's, like...
What phone does he have now?
The 11. So he gets, like, $200 or $250 off.
So we need... At least Tanner needs to get a new phone soon. And did you have this growing up where it would be, like, every 2 years you couldn't trade in?
Yeah.
He's had that for, like, already 2 years and still hasn't done it. I'm like, just go to the store and trade it in. But it's, like, a weird thing because it's, like, Verizon's letting him trade it in. But, like, he bought it through Apple, so it's, like...
I never understand the dynamic. Like, and I'm sure Peter knows, but I'm just, like, I don't, like...
I'm, like, just
who
go.
do I go to?
Just
like, and that's why, like,
it.
I'm, like, I just want to pay cash for the phone so then I can just keep paying, like, Verizon, like, regularly. Like, that doesn't affect it, right? Which, like, feels like it wouldn't.
I don't know. But
I have no clue.
That's a great gift.
Yeah, so that's, like, obviously that's a really big gift, but it's, like, also a necessity. Like, in a few months, we would have been getting it anyways. And so I was like, you just want a new phone? And he was like, oh, my gosh, I would love that.
That's so great.
And then we're going to have, like, a little date day. Which, like, we've talked about it, but now you can visualize it. We want a new couch for, like, over there.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to spend the day, like, thrifting and antiquing and kind of going around and seeing if we can find anything, but also just, like, shopping, which is so funny. I feel like that's what we've done for his birthday, like, the past, like, year, maybe, like, I don't know, like, mainly the past 2 years. And he was like, no, that's what I want to do.
That's what you guys love doing.
Like, all right, perfect.
On your wedding, like, thing at your shower, the question was, like, what is your favorite thing to do together? I was thrifting.
Yep. It's so fun.
Really, it's just so fun.
Oh, it's the best. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll be out your guys' direction at Latrobe.
Could be fun.
Any other updates?
Spooky.
Ooh.
Yes, I have another update.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if I've said on the podcast before about how much I am terrified of moths. Because
yes, you have.
The moth that was feeding off of me when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I have no clue what episode that would be in, but a big moth was on me for an extended period of time.
Disgusting.
So, since then, I can't describe it. Okay, I don't get scared of bugs. I hate whenever people are like, oh my god, a bee's on me. Like, I hate that vibe, but literally that is me with the moth. Like, it...
But this is different.
One time a moth was in my car. I was, like, parked, and, like, the little light was on, you know? And then I saw a moth flapping up there, like, that it was on the light. And I opened my car door and threw up. Like, it's so, like, primal.
That's how I feel about flies.
Yeah, like, it's so primal in me. I hate them so much after that experience when I was younger that, like, I'm not even trying to just be, like, oh, my God, get it away at all. I wish I didn't care. But it genuinely makes me... It's, like, physically ill.
Yeah.
So anyways, unfortunately, the flapping, it's really the flapping.
Like the sound of it.
Yes, the sound of it and just all of it. So it's kind of also just the uncontrollableness of where they're going. Like they're just around. They could land on my head. It could land anywhere. It could dive on me. Like, I don't know. So it's kind of expanded a little bit into like birds now, because that to me is feeling like it's just a larger moth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my God, it's like making me out of breath.
She's winded just thinking about it.
So anyways, I have a new fear. I'm going to need you to live react to this photo. Oh my God.
Oh! It's an owl for those.
It's an owl.
Let me see it. Wait, I want to see.
And also swipe through the other photos.
His
Ashley's,
eyes.
it scares me to death. Okay, do you see the one?
He's ginormous. When they sit in their little like holes or whatever, like they look so tiny.
Do you see the one with its arms up like this? It's white. Look at its legs. It looks like a rabbit. Doesn't it?
That literally looks like my dog's like paws.
I know. They're huge. Imagine the flaps and imagine it coming at you, flapping with those long wings.
Cola's had a lot of run-ins with hawks this year.
No. Look what I sent it to Tanner with the caption.
He said, "I'm coming for you."
Oh my God, it's horrifying. So that's just the last thing. And then, okay, you wanted to talk about Taylor Swift.
Did you listen to 1989?
We listened to some of it.
Because obviously everything's the same except there's
some
new
songs.
New songs.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the last song, "Is It Over Now?" Which like might be a popular opinion.
I didn't hear that one. I didn't like that the one song was called Slut. I feel like that was a little harsh, especially for Miss Taylor. Like, she has so many young fans. I'm like, okay.
I know. I have to remember that, like, the Volt tracks are, like, what she wrote that just didn't make the first album.
Like,
so I'm like, you wrote this when you were, like, 23.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't love that, but I have been playing Taylor Swift a lot more because Monty has started to learn to dance, and she loves Taylor Swift. So that has been fun. So I played some of 1989 for her, but just the ones that I already knew, really.
Yeah. The Volt tracks I thought were good. She's looking at more. I kind of feel like it's cute.
I can't look at that.
Does this man just take photos of owls?
No, there's like foxes and like wolves and stuff on there too. But the owls, oh my God, I'll put them on the story. I'll put all those photos on the story of this episode.
Such a round face. Wow, there's so many owls.
A big moth.
Aren't they like mean though?
Can you scroll away from it before I go back?
Yeah, it's gone.
Thank you.
Aren't they mean?
Yeah,
I've heard that they're
they,
malicious.
Yeah, which
again,
scary.
like how much can an owl, I guess,
imagine
do
it going
to
like
you?
this at you.
Literally sounds like a dragon.
It could kill me.
It could. I wonder how many people die by owl each year.
No. I've never seen one except like at a zoo. Like I haven't seen one in the wild, but they live around.
I feel like I always would hear it.
Me too. They live around here.
Have died by owl.
But what are your thoughts on Taylor? Anything else, or just that you like?
Well, no. Everyone is shocked by some of the Volt tracks because it gives more intel into her and Harry's relationship. And the last song that I love doesn't paint Harry in a very good light. So everyone was shocked.
What's it called again?
Is It Over Now?
Okay.
Are owls friendly? Owls will avoid humans.
Is Harry like known to have like is he like
Lovers.
supposed to be a nice guy?
Well, everyone just adores him because of like his tour. He just seems like very friendly, and like he went on that tour for like 2 years.
But like, does he have the reputation of being like a good person, like in relationships and stuff?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people that have been in relationships with him have never really talked about it.
They're
Like,
just like, okay.
yeah, they're just like, yeah. And like, I mean, on the first 1989, you got Style, and are you thinking of the owl still?
No, I think it's something else I have to say after this.
Okay. Like it was all just very like nice, like tracks and everything. It was like obviously nothing that compares to like John Mayer or Jake. And so everyone's like, oh, okay, like Harry's fine. But then with these Volt tracks, everyone's like, oh, maybe he was kind of a jerk.
Or she was like still thinking about the other exes and it was about that.
That's true. But everyone is like, just remember that like they both were so young. And I was like, I will not be shading Harry Styles over Taylor Swift songs. I love that man. But yes, who cares?
I was laughing because I was thinking about okay, I don't mean to gossip, and I hope this person doesn't listen to the podcast.
Oh, God, I'm scared.
There was this person in my high school, okay, and this was after we graduated, we were in college, and they are, like, obsessed with Harry. There's a group of girls who, like, was obsessed with Harry and would genuinely, I don't know how they got the money for this. They would follow him, like, on tour for, like, 10, 12 shows, like, road trip, and, like, do you know people...
This was still One Direction, right? Or was this his solo?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But so they were like a part of this like group where they would like know what hotel he was staying at and like be at the hotel like
I'm
ready for
scared.
him, like, you know, like those
The
really
fan pages.
intense
Yeah.
fan groups. They were a part of that. But this one girl in the group like started like this thing where she would be like, just like don't say anything, like we're really trying to keep on the down low.
No,
but,
I
like,
don't know.
me and Harry like are together, but like he doesn't want anyone to know yet, like, but like, yeah, I mean, after every show, like he always tells me where to meet up with him, like at his hotel, and we like sleep together and like.
And you're like, you're 16.
Well, no, we were in college.
Oh, college. Okay.
So she was probably 19.
Yeah.
But I was just like,
girly. girly.
No way.
To
You're
be
telling
fair,
me he was dating Taylor Swift and you.
and you. To be fair, if that is true,
No, it's actually no.
like
it's not.
that is which also so then so in the song it says
And you were dating a girl from Ligonier.
and you knew this girl from Ligonier and she went to Pittsburgh. It was basically like you date every model, or like you jump into bed with every model, every blue-eyed girl, or like whatever. And this girl on TikTok was like me, a blue-eyed model, listening to this song after I went on a date with Harry in 2014. And I was like, and everyone was like, if this is true, that is like the ultimate clout. Like that's
Just
very
saying that you went
cool.
on a date. Imagine if though it was someone you already knew pretty well, and then they just randomly said that, you'd be like, no. If I went on a date with a famous person, I would tell everyone I know immediately.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I would tell you, like if we're saying like both of us were single right now, I would definitely tell you, but I wouldn't tell a lot of people because I would be afraid of like maybe it getting out and then it being like the relationship being ruined.
But who would it be getting out to?
The tabloids.
Oh.
And then they'd be like, how could you tell somebody? And I'll be like, I had to. I hate this scenario.
Okay. All right. So today.
That's it. Where are we at right now?
40 minutes.
Wonderful.
Okay. So today we are going to be reading your. Sorry, I'm a little sick.
Family stories.
Family drama. I'm excited to read
I wish I
these.
could have submitted. I guess I technically could have.
I have always thought about, like, what if I sent something in
I almost did for this one because something happened the other day.
that I know?
No.
Oh, my God.
I know. Nobody involved listens to the podcast. So if you are in my vicinity of family, then you're
Are you
safe.
going to say it right now?
Oh, no, I can't.
Oh.
But I'll
Like
tell you
someone
afterwards.
killed someone.
I hit a body.
Yeah. Well, not even to family stories, just anything. I even sometimes have just like, what if I just made something crazy up and sent it in? Like, what would Ashley do? But
And then you would just be like,
do?
I would be like reacting like, that's crazy. And I know that you would just be smiling and be like, I made that up.
But that would take our credibility away.
Exactly. Yeah. People are like, okay, I don't come here for fake stories. I come here for nice laughs and a good time in real stories.
Absolutely. I will say I've never submitted a story or made anything up. We never have. And we've still, again, have never known who sends anything in. So
Yeah.
please continue to send your unhinged thoughts.
Truly. I know we always have assumptions, like, but it's usually if our friends told us that they sent something in, I'm like, oh, that sounds like something she'd do.
All right.
Let's kick it off.
You want me to read it?
You go ahead.
My boyfriend's grandfather remarried late in his life, and for a few years of being a widower, actually lived with my boyfriend and his family. Okay, so his wife passed, and then he moved in.
I'm gonna let you read it to me. I'm not reading it with you.
Yeah. I always get like confused with like the aunt, stepmom, whatever. Okay, so the grandfather's wife died.
Okay. Her boyfriend's grandma.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then he moved in with their family.
Okay.
As he got older and became ill, his new wife became very controlling over him, insisted he cut all ties with his children. No explanation of why. My boyfriend's poor mother and her siblings had no idea their own father passed away until someone called one of them to give their condolences after seeing his obituary in the newspaper.
That's so sad.
My God. My boyfriend's mom and aunts recently went to see a medium. Oh,
Ugh.
don't even get me started.
I was gonna say spooky's, I guess, technically not
Please
over.
do not see a medium. And their evil stepmother was a spirit trying to reach them through the medium to apologize. Okay, so she was a nice girlie afterwards. They also had no idea she had even passed away. And it was several years since the crazy situation of the father's death. Can you imagine if your literal dad died and you just saw his obituary in the newspaper? You're
That's
like,
horrifying.
Okay.
I never understand, like, I consider myself a very understanding, like, person, and, like, I like to get along with people. I could never imagine being like, you will never speak to them again. Like, unless they are extremely toxic people. But, and again, you like, we have one side of the story, but I'm like, to rip a man, like an elderly man away from his children after the love of his life has probably passed away, the mother of his children, and now the only thing, like, whatever, that connects. Maybe that's why. I was like, maybe she didn't like the old lady, his first love. And she was like, we're going to take you away from everything.
Could be.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's just like, that would never happen on The Golden Bachelor.
No, it would never. Gary would never allow that to happen.
No, never.
He'd be like, oh my gosh. Oh, like, going back to The Golden Bachelor, of like all of the women that have gone home to be with their families. Or the one lady that missed her daughter's wedding.
Oh my gosh, I know. She went home.
Oh.
You probably saw that one coming.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You thought she was going to win?
No. It was
Oh.
a different one. He sent 3 girls home this week.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm saying they're speed running it.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Do you think they're going to do fantasy suites?
I'm scared. I don't know. Knowing Gary, he's like, can we get a room with a double bed? Or 2 doubles.
I feel like, though, in, like, night 1, there was a lot of women that came out of the limo and gave some sexy comments. Like, the one lady was wearing those heels. She's like, see my heels? And then she said, I'm very comfortable with 6 inches. That was her, like,
I don't remember
line.
that.
Yeah, when she came out.
I'm scared.
So I feel like they're still ready to go.
That's true. All right.
And good for them.
Oh, and good for them. Okay. We all have a crazy aunt, right? My aunt is something. The entire family went out to go shopping except the crazy aunt who was supposed to watch one of the other aunt's dogs. The rest of the family left the house, and about 15 minutes later, we got a call from her saying the dog fell through the upstairs banister and fell a story high. Turns out she pushed the dog off the banister and the dog died. Oh my God.
I'm sorry that I'm laughing. That is the most craziest thing I've ever heard.
She said, you're never going to go shopping without me again.
Oh
What?
my God.
Do you still? I have so many other questions. Do you still speak to her? How did you find out she pushed the dog off? Like,
Please give us more information.
you need to DM us. You cannot leave me hanging like this. That is
Oh my
awful.
God.
And for what?
Oh my God. Imagine just being like, I'll show them not to go shopping with me again. Oh my God.
That's not crazy. That's delulu.
That's sociopath behavior.
Yeah.
That's actually what serial killers do before they become serial killers is they start to kill animals.
Which is awful.
Oh my God. I need to know more.
Also, we haven't read any of these, and there's only a few of them, so I feel like there's just a lot of, like, we haven't proofed them, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next. My future mother-in-law is attempting to plan my entire wedding. We told her we wanted Mexican and Chinese for our reception dinner. Great choice.
Yummy.
And she told us that it's not a picnic. If we want picnic food, then we need to have a picnic instead of a wedding. Tanner and I have been saying so much recently that you are so much better off literally getting Chick-fil-A, Chipotle catering than like most normal caterers. Like the chicken and green beans.
I hate it.
And I think people would be more excited if they saw, imagine you go to a wedding, you see Chick-fil-A's catering. You're
Incredible.
so stoked.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, and just like, think of all of the money. Like, I think we ended up paying more money, like, for having like a pizza truck and a burger truck. But the food was so good. I remember opening up like my little burger box with fries and everything, and it was piping hot. You know that like buffet food never stays like warm the entire time, and it's just kind of just.
And no one wants the buffet food. Like, they just don't. Like, it's just so much more fun, even if it's anything unique.
Yeah. And whatever, like, yeah, do whatever's like most you guys, but like, yeah, especially just getting a giant, like, imagine you like go to the reception and people just get, here's your Chick-fil-A sandwich,
Or like they said, Chinese food. Imagine a Chinese buffet. I would be on cloud nine.
I shot a wedding one time that was like a Christian Indian wedding, and they did like awesome. The Indian ceremony first, and the food was absolutely incredible.
I shot this one wedding, and they did a Mexican station, a sushi station.
Whoa.
With also like other Asian food, and then like an American food station with like a slider bar.
Ooh.
And it was amazing. So yeah, I fully support you. I'm so sorry about your mother-in-law.
Stand your ground, unless she's paying for it.
Yeah, then you got no choice.
Okay. My parents divorced when I was 9 years old. We were simply told that they still loved each other, but were no longer happy being married to each other. My dad remarried a few years later, and I always had a very hard time with my stepmom. In college, 10 years later, my mom's best friend was in town and took me to dinner. During some small talk about difficulties I was having with my dad and stepmom, she says, "You know when your dad had his affair?" Yeesh. I heard nothing after she said that. I pretended like I knew and went with it, but later called my mom, where she confirmed my dad had an affair with his business partner / best friend's wife, not my stepmom. And that was the real reason for the divorce. Looking back, I should have been more suspicious, because my dad had sold his business and had taken a new job around the same time as the divorce, and we never really saw his business partner's family anymore. I confronted him a few weeks after finding out, and honestly, finding out the truth really helped with our relationship in the long run, but it took a few years to get there. That's crazy.
Dang. I do, like, it sucks because, like, she's 9 when they divorced. Like,
yeah,
it's
so
like,
what are you going to say? Like,
yeah, hey, daddy
cheated. Daddy slept in bed with somebody else. It's like, how do you dumb that down?
Like, it is hard, like, and then it's like, well, it's been a few years. Do we bring it up now, or do we just let it go? But that sucks that it had to come out in that, like, weird scenario where you're just like, yeah, I know.
Do you have those, like, I mean, maybe, like, not often, but have you been in those scenarios where someone will say something you didn't know, but you want to get more information? So you're like, yeah, that was crazy when that happened. Remind me, like, what my mom said again. Like,
No, that has never happened to me.
ever?
No.
I feel like just even in small things, like if someone like is like, oh, did you know they're dating? And I was like, oh, yeah, she did tell me. When did they start dating? Like,
you're like, oh, yeah, so what is the craziest thing that's ever happened to them?
please tell me.
So what's their biggest fight about right now? She just told me, but I just want to see if you know.
I just was quizzing you. Who's the better friend here?
Okay. My mom and her sister are twins. So my mom's twin.
Okay.
But have opposite.
Her aunt.
Yeah, but have opposite personalities and didn't always get along. Me and my cousin, mom's twin's daughter,
Okay.
were 6 months apart.
And they're half of DNA.
In age, so obviously we had life milestones at the same time. They didn't live far away, but we didn't spend much time together aside from holidays, etc. When we were teenagers, there was a huge family falling out, and my aunt and cousin stopped coming to holidays. But that's not the tea I'm sharing today.
Ooh. Oh, I'm scared.
Oh, no. When we were 21, I don't mean to be smiling, it's just that, like, I'm just getting nervous reading this. Oh. When we were 21, my cousin suddenly died in her college apartment on the opposite side of Pennsylvania. You'd think something this tragic would bring the family together and everyone would get over the petty drama from years ago, but no. She died in early November. Even though she hadn't been to the last several family holidays, Thanksgiving that year was weird. Not knowing what else to do, I had been chatting with my aunt. I agreed to go over to her house Thanksgiving evening. Yeah, she probably was like, well, your daughter passed. Like, I want to help you.
Yeah.
The plan was to watch some TV, eat pie, maybe have a glass of wine. Or so I thought. Oh my God. This is scared. So long. I'm so scared. I let myself drink way too much. I lost count of how many drinks I had, and my aunt was making them strong.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God. Under the influence of her and alcohol, I smoked weed with her. Prior to this night, I'd never truly been high, let alone drunk and high. I should have been more responsible for myself that night, but I let my guard down because I thought I was with a responsible family member. Sometime later, I was extremely disoriented, feeling nervous. Turns out getting high makes me extremely anxious.
Same.
Oh, this is so creepy. And my aunt started calling me by my cousin's name.
No.
All I wanted...
Was she also drunk? It doesn't say.
She said they smoked weed together,
okay,
so I don't know. Okay. All I wanted was to go home, but I obviously couldn't drive. I ended up calling my parents sobbing, and they drove 45 minutes late at night to come rescue me. Once my aunt realized I called my parents, she got mad. Once I knew my parents were close, I went outside and started walking down the street in the rain without my shoes. I'm lucky something else terrible didn't happen to me, eventually my parents got me and took me to their house. 3 months went by until I got my shoes back. Since then, I've realized my aunt has a slight substance use problem, and I've had to cut her out of my life. At least until she's ready to heal herself. My advice, don't do drugs, and everyone should have a therapist.
Oh my gosh. That was a roller coaster she took me on there.
I was, like, for some reason getting scared that she was gonna, like...
Kill her?
No, like, start, like, doing things like, oh, baby, do you want to, like, let me hold you? Or, like, something, like, weird like that.
Yeah. I feel like I've just watched too much true crime or just, like, TV shows in general. Like, I was like, what if, like, she's gonna get revenge on the mom? And she's like, if I lost my daughter.
Keep her for ransom.
Yeah. Ooh,
that's really
it's
strange,
so crazy to think like people that listen to this podcast have had that happen to them. I'm like, that's a like fictional thing.
I know, like this is someone else.
Yeah,
that is really sad though. Like she probably was like mourning her daughter so much, and it just came out in such like a weird way.
Yeah, good for you for making the attempt though.
Yeah,
and then knowing when to draw boundaries.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay. My mom told me that she had an affair with a professor for years in her marriage, and my dad, they got a divorce for many reasons, and continued when she got pregnant with me. Like, what do you want, I guess? But
do what you want, I guess.
Do what you want, I guess, but I didn't consent to that.
Ew, that is kind of weird knowing that your mom was, like, sleeping with another man when you were in her belly.
Yeah. But they got divorced. But she just, like, told her years later that she was, like, having an affair. Ew. Slimy.
That's weird. Okay. Truly crazy. This all happened before I was born, and I have only started to collect bits and pieces in recent years. My grandma's brother, who also happened to be my grandfather's best friend, okay, died of suicide. That's in quotation marks. When the police found his body, they went and got my grandfather from the bar and took him to the scene to have him identify the body. My grandfather still believes to this day he was murdered and the police were in on it. Them taking him to his dead body was their way of saying, keep your mouth shut or you're next.
Oh, jeez.
My grandparents then moved their whole family, my mom and aunt, across the country for a year. My grandfather still won't say, but def some underlying mob happenings back in the day.
Whoa.
My mom always says she can never tell the whole story until after my grandparents have passed. That is
That's
crazy.
Scary.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
That type of stuff, I'm like...
Have you ever thought about the fact of, like, how much in the world happens with, like, that you just have no idea about? I'm just, like, the black market, the dark web. I'm, like, so much happens that I'm
Also,
completely oblivious to. The government.
I always think about, like, people who are, like, did a crime or did something and, like, they know that, like, they're, like, someone could find them out eventually or something. Like, imagine if you did, like, a hit and run, like, 10 years ago. Wouldn't you still think about it?
Oh, 1,000%. I'd be so
they're gonna
anxious.
find me every day, like, living with that.
Yeah.
Makes sense why people just randomly can confess it for stuff.
Yeah.
I could never live with it, ever.
Yeah, especially, like, something where it's, like, you are, like, an innocent person, but, like, maybe you were even just 16 and, like, someone was on the side of the road, you thought it was a deer, whatever. Like, that is, like, that's horrifying because it's like, I'm a good person, but, like, I made this one tiny, like, stupid decision.
You know what scares the crap out of me is, like, people who are in jail for life and, like, were proven innocent. Like,
I never did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you watch have you been watching this season of the Kardashians?
I've watched, like, a little of it.
Because, like, that's, like, Kim's thing. Like, she became a lawyer to, like, well, I don't know if she became a lawyer for that reason, but, like, she helps people that were, like, wrongly incarcerated. And he, like, the one guy that's, like, been on this, that she's been helping on this season, he's been in prison for 25 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I am turning 25 this year. My entire life sitting in prison.
Imagine sitting there and just every single day being like, I didn't do anything. Like, it would be different if I was like, I know I messed up. I'm here. Like, this really sucks. But, like, imagine genuinely being like,
every day.
How did they get me? Because I didn't do anything. It would be horrible.
Horrible.
And just every day being like, I literally didn't do it. Like, even at your
You
trials
have to,
and
like,
stuff. And they're like, no, you did, though. And you're like, no.
They're like, no, you did. I know that would, like, you would definitely just have to put the anger aside, because if we were like, I'm in here for 25 years, like, am I just going to be an angry, bitter person every single day? I could, like,
Yeah.
or I can try to enjoy any of this.
Yeah. Imagine, like, it's just terrifying.
It's
thinking
so
of
scary.
being alone in a cell.
Yeah, on one of the podcasts we listened to, she was talking about haunted places, and one of them was like an insane asylum, or maybe it was like a prison, but it was like a prison that was haunted that established solitary confinement. And she was like, that, like, is awful for the brain. Like, it truly is torture. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she was saying, like, in the article she was reading, it was like, even if they were in solitary confinement, if they had to be walked to, like, different places, like, they would put a hood over their head so, like, they couldn't see anybody.
Imagine, like, if you were actually innocent and you're in jail and stuff. Imagine, though, like, how often you would then start to be like, what if I did do it and I'm just like, I'm crazy?
I blocked it out or something, like, the memory isn't there.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
like,
no.
What if you're like, they're like, you literally murdered your mom. And you're like, I don't think I did, but what if I, like, have schizophrenia or something and I don't know?
Like, I just blacked out.
And then you would start to, like, think that. And I bet you, honestly, a decent amount of people in prison have something like that.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, that's what happens. Like, a lot of people, like, will just take a, like, even, like, a plea because they're like, you did this. Like, it all points to you. Just say you're guilty and you'll get 9 years. And it's like, okay. Like...
Yeah. I would be very like interested to know, like, it's just so scary. Have you ever watched like those YouTube videos that's like, here's what it feels like to have schizophrenia?
Oh, no.
And it'll like literally show, like, it'll be like a person just like, it'll be like you're walking through a house and it'll be like just voices like saying like normal stuff and then be like, oh, you should stab him with that knife. Like,
Oh
and
my
your brain
gosh.
just, it's just so messed up. And it's like, it's terrifying. But like, if I ever felt that for 1 second, I would immediately drive myself to the doctor and be like, you
Please
need to
put me
fix
away.
me.
You need to fix
You gotta
me.
stop this.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. Well,
That's all we got for today.
Yeah.
I was like, anything else we should say?
Nope.
I don't think so.
all right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
We love you the most, and you know what to do. Rate us, review us, give us 5 stars, tell us how amazing we are, and we will in turn blow you a kiss. Ready? We love you. Have an amazing week.
Bye.